Hello, Diane. Hello, Miss Jolly. How you ladies doing tonight? All right. Thank you. Ava, how you doing, lady? Hello, Miss Janice. Oh, that's good. Hello, Ann Jay. Ava, you mean Doug's vacation about over with? You need to put boxing gloves on that cat, Ava. Oh, thank you, ma'am. I appreciate y'all sharing it out. That Ava wasn't saying sweet little monkey when that thing cut her lip. Monkey might have had a few names added to him there for a few minutes. No, he probably didn't. I'm talking about you. You talking to me, Diane? Yeah, me either. It would have been beep 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 beep. Sound like Morse code. Hmm. I don't know what thumbnails up. I know Rocky can get a little bit too rough, and then he'll won't love on you. Found out you got too rough. Lay down and go and sleep tonight. been crazy in the bed bug all day. It will all get better in the next couple of weeks, Dennis. Yeah, well, it wasn't anybody else on. Cookie, Steve. Thanks a lot, Gracie. Make my day. I just trying some different times of the day, Steve. Just instead of gaining subs, I'm losing subs. I think I'm down to 90 or 89 or something like that now. I need to get out and get in a few different deals. And I've got about 5 or 6 videos sitting there ready to go. I'm just too damn lazy to do it. Good night, Greg. Yeah. Hello, Timmy Ray. Well, the sub don't really make that much difference. Hello, Lillian. I do this just to have a good time more than anything else. Yeah, I don't know why it's so hard for me to sit down and do one of them videos. Not nothing to it. Feeling a little rough, Cookie. You mean you're not even gonna come up and get on screen tonight, Ava? You have a good one then, Miss Ava. Always some damn people around want to steal. Sometimes if they'd work as hard as they work at stealing stuff, they'd have a pretty good job. It sort of tapered off here today. It's been cloudy and misted a little bit today, but it hadn't been raining. I think ours about over with for a few days. Hmm. That on your Wrangler, Lillian? Yeah, I know it. Yeah, we're supposed to have a few days. It's pretty. I'm ready though. I'm about tired of the rain, and it's supposed to warm back up. I think be in the 70s and 80s. I think. I think we got a little of that coming tomorrow. Yeah, that's good, Diane. Say you in trouble when you catch somebody like that. Back a few years ago, several years ago, I was dating a little old gal, and took them. I don't know, about 2 o'clock in the morning. I just got a funny feeling. I got dressed and walked outside, and I had a brand new Pontiac, and the door was open on it. The interior light was on. I used around that car, and I had a pair of Western boots on, and I wear the short pointed tips. And I know that was in the days of the 8 track. I used around it back into that car, and I was laying down in the floorboard, popping that 8 track out of that Pontiac. I reared back and kicked him just as hard as I could kick him in the butt. Come scrambling out of that car, and he did. He was about 6'5", weighed about 300 pounds. Well, we done started this. We got to finish it. And I stayed on him for about 50 yards, wearing him out. And I sure was glad he got up and went on, ran on off, because he was, hell, he had me outweighed 100 pounds. Mm. But I got a bunch of 8 track tapes and 3 or 4 tape players out of it. But he had a sore butt with them cowboy boots. Oh, really? Hello, Hawkins family. Hello, Michael Ann. How you doing, girl? Down here in Texas, since they passed that constitutional carry, there's been a bunch of them folks stealing stuff, and it hadn't worked out too well. So I'm a long way from 2010, probably 100 miles. Yeah, that's happening more often in different places. Going to bed quick, Hawkins. Yeah, well, we're bus thirsty a lot, aren't we? Good though. Most people that steal stuff, they don't want to. They want to do it and get by with it. Nobody's bucking. Yep, I've done the same thing. See, well, a lot of places now. it's not over $1,000, they won't even prosecute them if they do catch them. I don't know what's saying down there in Texas. It's a hell of a lot better to be tried by 12 than it is carried by 6. That's crazy. And they wonder why it's getting worse. My buddy's got a bunch of surveillance cameras up that go to his phone and into his wife's phone. So, anybody pulls in here, it'll be 4 or 5 different poo-poos, pee-pees. Not pee-pees. Like Tim's in here. That's one good thing about Texas, Lillian. You don't even have to have a permit anymore. Well, I got to blame some other people. Somebody shoots one of them dudes. They want to put him on trial. Whoever's on that damn jury ought to be hung if they do anything to somebody that's protecting their property or protecting themselves. Most places, even in major towns, it's 18 to 30 minutes response time. Hello, Looter 8. How you doing, bud? Only thing I don't do, I don't shoot as much as I need to do that. Yeah, we got a, it used to be in Austin. That's good, man. There's a funny story about the Capitol in Texas. This is a huge building, beautiful building. And there was some guys that money guys got together and they traded building that state capitol for like 300,000 or 400,000 acres in West Texas. They didn't go for state anything and they just gave the public land away for it. Ray, I don't know one. Something that a lot of folks don't know. Texas used to go all the way up through within 400 miles of Canada. It used to go up in Montana. When they joined the Union, they sold that panhandle to the United States. 10 million, something like that. Yeah, it didn't go quite to Canada. They got within 400 miles of Canada. That's whatever Angie posted. Okay. Those the dang cougars are getting thicker everywhere. Somebody there in Arizona put a water hole in, got a camera running on it, got all kind of bobcats and coyotes. Well, here in Texas, they think that they're multiplying so bad here in Texas because we got all these wild hogs. They just got a food source out of this world. So they're not moving like they used to. Used to normal before the wild hog got so bad was a cooping roamed like a 500-mile range, 500 square miles, and they're sort of quitting that now. I'm afraid if I was there would be some cows and cats not around as much. As long as I had a small dog, they got plenty of room to roam here in Texas. And the white-tailed deer are getting so thick it's not even funny. Texas. And the white-tailed deer are getting so thick it's not even funny. Oops, got something on?
Yeah, I just turned it off.
Okay. I tell you something else in this drought, a lot of that stuff's moving up from Mexico. I saw where they were. starting to see some jaguars in Arizona and New Mexico and Texas.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're seeing tracks out here with mountain lions, so they're moving in through here too.
You know, you can have a mountain lion on a place and you may never see him.
Hmm. So is Lillian still here? Yeah, I see her. I wanted to show Lillian what I have for a security camera. So the app that I have on my phone is called NetView. And I'll show you right there. That's my front gate. So I have the security camera on Wi-Fi. And anytime somebody goes by, a car drives by or somebody walks by the front gate,
Dude,
oh,
yeah,
there I am. So it sends us an alert, and then we can see what's going on out there. It also records video and photos, and so I can download those to my phone and then text those to our neighborhood text group and let them know, for example, hey, there's a white pickup truck cruising around the neighborhood, looking in people's yards or looking in cars or whatever. And then everybody's on the lookout for them. And then if I see them drive by multiple times, I'll walk out my gate and kind of intercept them and just let them know, hey, I noticed you were driving around a lot. Can I help you with something? Not in a threatening manner, but if I walk out there with a sidearm and ask them a question, I generally don't see them after that. They usually go away and don't come back.
hello, Cottonwood. They, I got where I keep I bought a greener shotgun the other day. It's one of them short barrel 12 gauge. You know, it's a legal shotgun, but it's like one they used to carry on the stagecoaches and stuff.
Yeah.
Now, Cottonwood, I appreciate you dropping in. We hear just about every night. They, that shotgun seems to discourage folks pretty good.
Yeah, it does, especially if you walk out with
I don't ever point it at nobody. But only person I pointed the gun at, I really didn't point it at him, but I caught that guy breaking into my buddy's shop here, I don't know, 6 months ago. I put him on the ground till the sheriff deputy got here. I just had a pistol in.
So this system, you can put up as many cameras as you want. I have one at the entrance to my garage there. So if anybody walks around my garage, I get a notification too. Of course, I have feral cats too out here, like Tracy does, and the feral cats will trip it off too. But for the most part, it takes care of the problem. And I also put signs around the fence line on my property, letting people know that I have 24-hour video surveillance. And quite often, the sign in itself will keep people away. It discourages them.
One my buddy's it's got a face recognition on it. If I walk outside, well, it'll let them know who it is. And if it's somebody they don't know, well, it'll really start going off then.
Oh, really? That's nice. Yeah.
And
I have
and
never.
all it is battery powered. They're solar charged. So batteries don't ever run down on 'em. And that stuff is getting cheaper than it was super expensive here a year or so ago, but it's getting cheaper now.
Yeah, I think these cameras that I bought are like $59, and you hook them up to your Wi-Fi, and then they have a plan where you can store your video and photos in their cloud for like, I think I pay $15 a month for the camera out front at the gate, or you can pay nothing and it basically saves it for 24 hours on the camera, and then the next 24 hours starts new. Yeah, it's very reasonable.
Yeah, they are. And they didn't used to be though.
No, they didn't, and that's what this is, Lillian, is on the phone. They have all kinds of stuff out there, you just have to do your research and decide what works for you, but this one is cheap, and so far I've had it probably 10 years. The cameras last pretty long here in the desert heat.
All of talking about making that hot water heater. You don't want an electric hot water heater. It'll heat her batteries up so fast it's not even funny. I used to build a lot of the containers before you could even buy that stuff. There were a lot of churches around here that had baptistries on them, and they need to run like 500 or 1,000 gallons of warm water, hot water in it. And I used to build those. Just take a coil of copper tubing and burner and put it inside something. That's all it takes. You can
Yeah.
take that hose that's going into her ambulance and put a coil of tight coil of copper tubing in that thing. The more copper tubing you got, the better it works.
Mhm.
You can make a hot water heater out of this world.
Yeah. That copper tubing's getting expensive nowadays, though.
Yeah, but it's not expensive as buying one.
Well, that's true.
Here,
There you go, Diane, that's it.
yeah, I got a little side job I do. In fact, I need to do a bunch of it right now. I've got there's 3 or 4 commercial electricians around here.
Got
They don't supply us any wire. They when they're doing these new houses, so they've always got a ton of wire scrap. And I bought one of them machines that'll strip that wire, and I've been made a deal with them, and I've been doing it on the halves with them. When that copper was bringing $4 a pound, you can make pretty good money doing that.
That's a great idea. Lillian, yes, to answer your question, they have inside, cameras also. You can put inside your apartment and also, outside.
A cousin of mine put one in, a system similar to what you've got, but it's hooked up to the doorbell too. If somebody walks up on his front porch, wherever he's at on the telephone, he'll be talking to him. He can be in the next state and be talking to somebody on his front porch.
Yeah, I can do the same thing with this one. I haven't had to use it, but it does have a push to talk, and you can holler at someone, "Hey, can I help you?" And they can hear you. It's not a real loudspeaker, but it does work.
Hey, they may come a long ways on that. I used to deer hunt a whole lot. Now it just freaks me out. some of these stands and stuff, they're paying $2,000 or $3,000 for a deer stand, and they're putting these feeders on it, and they're hooked up to the phone. Anytime an animal comes up underneath that feeder, that video kicks in. You sit there and watch it. Then they got another deal. The hogs are getting so bad here, it's unreal. And they got a deal where it's radio or telephone control. You can, if they start to get in that trap, these big traps, they're like 30, 40 feet across. And go ahead and put corn in them. They come in that trap. You can sit there and watch them. And when they all get inside, you hit a button and it drops the gates on them.
Oh, wow.
They're catching 30 and 40 hogs at a time.
Yeah, I heard they're getting really bad down there.
Oh, man, they are.
They tear stuff up pretty good too, don't they?
Ooh, something else. You know, there's the smartest four-legged animal around. They got a better nose than any dog. I've seen them get in box Van D. I've seen you seen Michael Land? That's pretty cool, isn't it? I've seen them get in a field before. I used to hunt all the time, so a lot of the farmers and ranchers would start having trouble, and they'd call me. I've seen them go into a cornfield where they were planting the corn and just get in a row and go to rooting that row up, eating the kernels of corn out of that row, and then turn around and get on the next row and come back, not root anything up in between them.
Ah,
And this corn that they plant now costs like $1 a kernel, because it's treated where insects won't get on it and everything. So that's big money.
yeah.
Man, ain't no telling how many damn hogs I've killed. They got so bad down here in some areas of Texas. It's got to be real popular to get the ARs or the shotguns and get in a helicopter and fly around and shoot them.
Now, are people able to eat that meat, Ron, or does it go to waste?
Most of it goes to waste. They're so bad down here, you can kill them any way you want to, any time of the day, any time of the night. It doesn't matter. They tear some stuff up. And I've ate them before, but there's just certain times of the year. Like right now, they're not worth a flip, because the acorns and pecans and stuff are falling, and they're real greasy. But now you can wait on up to March, end of February, March, and they lose a lot of that body fat, and they're just like a regular hog.
Oh, okay.
And, get one that was.
So you were on Dee's. Did you go onto Dee's live, Box Fan Dee's live for a little while?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought you were there. So she did a really nice thing for charity tonight. For everyone in the chat, there's a charity that's called Just Roll With It Mobility Foundation. This one right here. And the guy in the wheelchair's name is Derek. He's disabled and is in a wheelchair full time. He and his wife, Tanya, have a foundation where they collect money, donations from people, and make grants to applicants who need help, low income people that don't have money for a wheelchair, walker, whatever equipment they need to get around and get out into nature. We all know how important it is to get out into nature. And Derek and Tanya's foundation, Just Roll With It Mobility Foundation, is actually helping people. And Box Fan D did a really nice live stream tonight, and we collected some money for the foundation. And 100% of that money goes to the people who actually need the help. So If anyone's looking for a good charity, it's a 501(c)(3), so it's deductible. You can deduct it on your taxes. Go to Just Roll With It Mobility Foundation.
That thing's got to go. They've got it going pretty good now.
Yeah.
Starting to get it organized pretty good.
Yeah.
Diane, that is a lot of meat wasted, but you wouldn't believe the damage they do. I mean, it's crazy. It they can tear up. Well, one buddy of mine, we killed 32 of them. Me and a friend of mine did one day. Caught them out in an oak patch, but they were knocking out 15 to 20 acres of oak a night. There was that many of them.
Wow.
And you talking about some big money when you talking about planting 30 acres of oak.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of them necessary.
Thanks, Diane.
That Derek is a character, isn't he? He cracks me up. Derek does. Yeah, they're just, it's unbelievable. I should have, if I could had a video of something happened to me one night on that river, it would have went viral. Oh, my God. Yeah,
You're right, Diane. It was funny to see Derek serious tonight, but it's good. He needed to be.
there's some good folks on YouTube. Do a lot of good for a lot of people.
Yeah. Ann says they got to meet them too, her and Scott. And Derek and Tanya really opened my eyes. I met them at Box Van D's meetup last year, Q22, in Quartzsite up on Plamosa Road. Got to meet Derek and Tanya up there, and like great people. And it really opened my eyes of what it takes for him to actually get out there and do the camping. You got to have an accessible van. You got to have a ramp on it, where you can get in and out. They pull a trailer where they put the wheelchair. It's a motorized wheelchair in the trailer. And so there's a lot to just getting in and out, of the van and getting out into nature to enjoy it. And so I learned a lot just watching, what we take for granted is a struggle for both of them. So, and they're great people on top of that.
I do a lot of work with the VA. Some of the programs they've got a horse riding program, and they've got hunting programs. Got a bunch of them that I deal with. The main one I deal with is suicide.
Mm,
That's the one people don't think about too much, but there's 22 vets commit suicide a day.
yep.
That's a that's
Yep.
a
That's right. Yeah. 22 a day. That's the average.
yeah. But they do have some programs that get them out. They've got one big ranch down here in South Texas. They take guys and gals hunting on them. All their deer stands are set up for wheelchairs, and they've got all-terrain wheelchairs that they let them boys use. I mean, it's a hell of a setup. I tell you, somebody that used to be real heavy into that was old George Strait. He
Oh,
donated some houses to them and
oh,
all
really?
kinds of stuff. He's a good guy. If you want to help somebody, there's plenty of people out there to help.
Yeah. When I call into the VA to get a prescription or make an appointment or talk to someone, the very first thing they say on the phone call recording that you get is if you need, what I forget the exact wording, but if you need help, push this number and they direct you to someone who picks up the phone and talks to you.
They got a suicide hotline.
Yeah, it's a hotline, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame. And I think they're trying to do more for them now. On the VA, I went in the VA about 25 years ago, and at that time, you got put in the hospital or something. Their attitude was, "What the hell you doing in my hospital?" I mean, that was about what you got. It's not like that anymore.
Hmm.
They know you by your first name or last name, and they're pleasant, and you need any help. And
I've never had any problem down here in the Tucson VA. I've been going to them. Diane says I have an echo. I don't have anything else on. I have only just StreamYard open. I don't have any other devices with YouTube open, so I'm not sure what's happening.
maybe just StreamYard, that happens sometimes.
Yeah,
I'm not hearing any echo at all.
I hear a slight echo, but anyway, I've had really good care. I go to the VA hospital here for all my care, even though I have Medicare now. I'm old enough for that. The VA's taken really good care of me out here in Tucson. Now, the Phoenix VA had some issues a couple years ago, but I think they got most of that straightened out. But the Tucson VA takes really good care of me. I have a great doctor. I can call in there and talk to her and talk to the pharmacist anytime I need something, and they're right on it.
Are you, don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but are you 100% service connected?
No, I'm 20%,
Okay. Like,
which is enough to get all the care I need.
I got a medical condition to where I'm set up on 100% service connected, so I don't even fool with the Medicare, Medicaid.
Yeah, you
That's a,
don't need it. Yeah, you don't need it. I went ahead and got it because I wasn't sure, when I hit 65, you had to make that decision, yes or no, right? I went ahead and got the Part A and Part B. I did not get the Part D for drugs because I have that covered through the VA and for TRICARE. And, uh, I have it if I need it. So let's say I can't get in the VA. The one thing the VA does not do well at, and I've complained about this, is like a quick care clinic. Let's say you cut your finger and you just need to go in and have someone look at it, or you got a rash in your armpit, or you know something is bugging your ear. You could go to quick care or urgent care off base, and you can usually get it taken care of. The VA is not really good at that. You have to call in, talk to a nurse, then the nurse calls you back or leave a message. The nurse calls you back, then she or he determines whether it's something that has to be taken care of right away, and then they make you an appointment for the next day or two. So it takes time if you have something like that going, and that's the only drawback for the VA care that I have here in Tucson. But Medicare takes care of it, so I can zip down the road and go to any clinic and get, whatever minor issue taken care of.
way I am here. Temple's got one of the major centers here. They've got a big emergency. You could walk in that emergency room, you get took care of right then. I mean, it's 24/7.
Yeah, I
Man,
can walk in. I can walk in the emergency room, but it's 30, it's probably 30, 35 miles away from here, from where we live.
the other thing they've come up with, if you got an emergency, I've done this a couple times. You got an emergency, you go to the closest medical facility there is, and the VA will pay for
Right. Yeah.
it. So, or if you try to make a appointment with if you got an appointment with the VA or trying to get one to see a doctor, and if they can't get you within 30 days, now
Mhm.
you can go to a civilian doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that as a matter of fact. I've done that.
I was a combat medic. I was in the Army. You want to know what branch you were in, Steve?
Air Force. My job was bombs, bullets, and missiles. Oh, Lillian, that's too bad. Hope your daughter gets the help she needs.
I tell you what, I can get in to see a doctor faster at the VA than my friends can in civilian life. See, I gotta tell you something funny about that. Of course, I was in Vietnam, but the first time somebody said that to me, I did not know how in the hell to take it. It shocked me so bad, I didn't know how to respond to it because it was so something that when we got out of service.
Yeah, I went in 1974, Ron, when everybody was coming back from Nam. And, when you go downtown with your uniform on, people would spit on you, give you dirty looks, things like that. And that was my entry into military service. And so they had regulations telling us, we had to go straight home if we were wearing our uniform. You couldn't stop and go do any shopping or anything. And it took about 3 years before things calmed down enough to where you could make a short stop with uniform on without worrying about somebody giving you crap. And
When I came when I came home from Vietnam, that was really bad. That was in '69, and I was over there 67, 68, come home 69. And we put up with it. When I come out of Fort Lewis, Washington, we had some guys raising hell there, and MP walked us out of there. But after I got home, of course, I was pretty well known around that little small town of mine. Ain't nobody ever spit on me because they knew what would happen if they had a. But you just didn't talk about
mhm, right.
it. You didn't.
Yeah, Box Van D's got her premiere tomorrow talking about suicide and overcoming trauma. And that lady is very good at sharing experiences and helping people understand what she went through. She doesn't give people advice, but she just simply explains what she experienced, and she's helped a lot of people.
Yeah, that's in Washington State, Lillian. Yeah, we left Vietnam at 120 degrees, and it was at nighttime, and we landed in Anchorage, Alaska. Blew a tire out, taking off, and he landed there to fix it. And it was in December, froze to death. Then we got to Fort Lewis, and it was snowing like a son of a. I take my hat off to Dee. She can talk about it. Now that's something I can't do.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy because you're having to relive that stuff again. And That's tough to do when you've gone through it.
Like the man says, that's what made me what I am today. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah.
Oh, me. Well, how's your weather? Is your rain about cleared out now, Steve?
Yeah, no rain in probably about a week.
I see it. Mobang made a, when I come out there this year, well, I want to go to uh, Big Bend, spend 4 or 5 days out there. I noticed he went to Big Bend or part of it.
Yeah, I watched that today. I was hoping he would let me know when he was passing through. I'd like to shake his hand. I met him up at Box Van D's meetup, last year, and I'd like to show him the monument here, out here where we live sometime. But he didn't have time to stop, I guess. But or I don't know if he really knew where um, where he was going, until he actually got there. He thought he was going to Arizona, and it was actually in Texas.
Yeah. So, these, some people can talk about it and some people can't. If I go to talking about it, I wouldn't be on here at night. But, I handled it for 40 years without any help at all. Pretty good at handling it. And some people can. Some people talk about
Oh, Ann says that it was in the wrong park too. Yeah,
it. What do you mean at Big Bend?
evidently.
Yeah, because there's two parks there. There's a national park and there's a state park, 2 miles apart.
Yeah, and it's quite a ways to get in there too. We were
Oh,
going to Louisiana a couple years ago, and I looked at Big Bend on the map and said, "No, I don't want to go that far south this trip." So, but we will make it sometime.
well, the thing about, I think Big Bend is the biggest national park in the United States, isn't it?
I'm not sure.
I think so. It's huge. You can't go to it in a 2 or 3 days and just drive all the roads. I mean, but less getting off the road and hiking. Hello,
Well, everything
Carl.
in Texas is big, right? Well, I'm hearing the echo now, but I don't have any external in microphone or anything, so I don't know what's happening there.
I've got YouTube on, but everything muted. But let me just kill YouTube. Can't get no echo out of it now. What are the two parks, Sanjay? One of them was like Horseshoe Bend or something like that. Stevens? No, never have.
Okay, that cleared it up, Ron. So whatever you did, it's better now.
Huh. And that's weird because I had the mic muted and everything else.
There's Ellsworth Carl.
Mr. Carl, you doing all right? Yeah. Yeah. He thought they were both together.
you know,
I bet you were plumb cute, Carl.
I'm going to play around a little bit on my live stream Monday morning with my costume, part of which you've already seen, but I'm going to have a little fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
That fits perfect, doesn't it?
Uh-huh. I got a mountaintop for a head.
Good night, Dee. I thank you for coming in, girl. I want to go look at some land out there. Between the two, the state and national park, they got a 250,000 acre ranch that they're selling off in 5, 10, 15, up to 100 acre plots. And it's still pretty reasonable. You can still buy from the individual. Sometimes you can buy it for $500 an acre. Buy it
How much per
anytime,
acre? How much per acre?
$400 or $500.
Oh,
And
that's good.
and then you can buy it anytime for $1,000 an acre. The
Any
5 acre, I've
any
seen it.
utilities or water or anything?
It doesn't have water on it. Uh, some of it's got electricity run across it. You can get phone lines in there, and then they maintain all the roads. That ranch you pay like 150 a year, and but they maintain the roads.
Is that out in the county?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's not another town, and
Yeah.
there's no restrictions at all.
That'd be nice for a boondocking spot.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking, and there is some hunting out there. They got a lot of javelina. They got some alldads. They got mule deer, and they got bear coming up in there now. My buddy had a deer feeder up, and he got all kind of trail cam pictures of a bear hanging off his feeder, and
Wow.
javelina are thick out there. Of course, you know, in Arizona, javelinas are expensive something to hunt, and here in Texas, they're not. They
As far as buying a tag?
you can just well, it's not even tagged when you buy your hunt license. You can kill 2 javelina a year.
Oh, okay.
So, but they got mule deer out there.
Well, we've got javelina running all over out here. They hit up our water hole quite often.
Well, you know, the tag for a javelina in Arizona is pretty expensive.
I had
Out of
no
state.
idea.
Yeah, it's like $200-300.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done any hunting out here since I was a kid.
I still like the deer meat. That's the only reason I hunt. I didn't hunt this last year. I do have a bow hunt coming up in 2 or 3 months from now, but it's on some axis deer does, and they claim that's the best wild meat you can get hold of. I want to try it. They claim it's
Oh,
better than that.
hmm.
And they weigh pretty good. They weigh like 300 pounds.
Sounds like some good meat.
Yeah. Yeah, they claim it is. And like I say, I've never tried it. I've tried elk before, and you can't beat venison as far as I'm concerned if you take care of it.
Yeah.
That's the
I
whole
have two
secret.
nephews that live up in Iowa, and they're big hunters. They have been their whole life, and they've brought their kids up to be hunters, and So each one of them gets a tag. So they get 4 tags for the family, and each one usually takes a deer. And they put meat up for the whole year, and they can eat venison for the whole year. All kinds of different recipes in different ways, jerky, everything.
Golly, I've ate javelina that the wetbacks down there picked, big young ones. They were pretty good. That's the only ones I've ever ate that didn't taste just like they smell. Smell like skunk.
Javelina have that sack, that scent sack on their back, and you have to be careful of that when you're processing them.
It normally when you gut a deer or an animal, you roll him over on his back, split him in the front. You do that with a javelina, and you'll mash that gland, and boy, whew,
Yeah, spoil that.
javelina's a little animal that looks like a pig, but he's not. Belongs to the squirrel family, I think.
Yeah, rodent family.
Yeah, they're Arizona and New Mexico and Texas, I guess, is about the only place that got them. No, they're not a boar. I mean, they're not a pig. They look like it, but they're not.
They're called a peccary. Let me see if I can get a picture up.
I think there's some other country in the world that's got both.
That's a javelina.
You're gonna have some fun with them things. Sometime catch a group of them crossing the road that's got about half grown ones in it. Pick your varmint call up.
Oh
Start
yeah,
blowing varmint call, and they'll go crazy. They'll run right up against your pickup.
yeah. There's one with a mama and her baby.
No, babies are cute.
I had them run across the road. Whenever you see a string of javelina take off crossing the road, the best thing is to stop because they will follow each other. They can't see worth a crap, and they'll all run across the road. And if you try to drive through them, you're going to hit one. So I always stop and wait for them all to cross the road before I, move on.
They're a neat little animal. I like to watch
Yeah.
them. I used to call them up for people when they were hunting that varmint call,
Hmm.
and they talk about how mean they are. I've kicked them things in the head, jumped them, and everything else. When I was calling them, they just nearly run over you. They really wasn't trying to. They'd be popping them teeth. They pop them tusks like a machine gun.
Yeah. Scares the crap out of you when they're coming right at you.
Yeah, growl and the hair all stand up. The hair on their back will stand up. And they look like they weigh 150 pounds, and they don't weigh about 40 pounds.
Yeah, they will tear up your dog, though. If your
Oh
dog
yeah.
goes after them, yeah, they will tear a dog up.
You ever feel of them tusks on one?
Yeah, when I was a kid, my dad and I used to hunt them here in Arizona. So that was his favorite. Besides mule deer, he liked hunting javelina. So I was around them quite a bit, and they do smell. Tracy, you can smell them when they're down on our property. When they bed down for the night, and I walk down there the next day, you can smell they were there because they have that musky, animal smell down there.
They don't smell just like a skunk, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
But them teeth, if you ever look at them, they every time they close their mouth, they grind against each
Mhm.
other, and it just sharpens that teeth. Their teeth are just like razors.
Yeah, those canines, yeah. Okay, so we were talking about lives on Monday, right?
Yeah.
So Ava does a 6 a.m. live my time. She goes from 6 to 7. Then Grandma Kelly is on from 7 a.m. until roughly 8 p.m. And then I'm on from 8 a.m. until 9 a.m. And then you're going to come after me on Monday. You're going to try that?
Yeah, between you and Roy.
Okay. Then you'll be on from 9 a.m. till 10. And then Roy and Becky will be on from 10 to 11.
And see the way in our time zone here, you come on at 10.
I come on at 10.
You go off at 11, and I'll go on at 11 and go to 12, and then Roy will go on at 12.
Okay.
So we're 2 hours different.
Right. You got to learn how to put up thumbnails, Ron, so people know that you're coming up.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of stuff I need to do this coming week. I need to set that community tab up. I need to set the thumbnails up, and then I've got several videos that I don't like much having them ready to go. Be a little bit different after this week. Yeah.
Best way to learn it is to do it.
Yeah. Well, up to this point, I've sort of just had fun with this thing. I don't know if I'll ever get monetized. I'm not really worried about that. And I just did it for grins more than anything else. Hang on just a minute. I need to check on this puppy. Be right back.
All right. Oh, Diane, 3 hours different from you. Okay. Peace Dragon, you've seen me on here before. My name's Steve. I remember you. Trying to remember your name. But I remember the channel name. Anyway, looks like we got a busy Monday morning coming up. Ava Potterfield is on, and then Grandma Kelly's on, and then I'll be on, and then Ron Darrell will follow me, and then Roy and Becky will follow Ron Darrell. So William, that's right, William. Peace Dragon is here. William, that's right. Yeah, Lillian, we're the same time as you in Oregon. Here in Arizona, we're the same time, Pacific time.
Diane was fussing about that. She said, I'm moderating all 3 of y'all's deals. Y'all gonna work me to death.
Oh, Diane's one of the best too.
Yeah, she takes care of business.
That's right. And it's interesting. You can't tell who's the moderator is when you're on StreamYard, right? And that kind of ticks me off. I wish they would have that. You've got to have, I usually have my phone up or my iPad, on YouTube following, and then I can see who the moderators are and I can see all the comments. But Diane's got to polish her wrenches. That's good.
Yeah, I'm glad as hell they can't kick a moderator off. Should have kicked me off here 100 times. Oh Lord! I tell you what, they do good at her and Janice.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah,
when Kenny used to be the quickest one, but they done got where they beat him out.
yeah, they're pretty quick on the trigger.
But I've been talking about them lives. I just been trying some different times a day. If I got a few minutes and I'm not doing anything, well, I'll sit down and open my live up. Don't schedule nothing, you know.
Yeah. And it works for you and the people that follow you. I guess I'm a worry wart. I think, okay, if I'm going to do a live, I've got to have a couple things to talk about, and because I don't want to waste people's time. That's probably my biggest worry is wasting people's time, having them come in and say, "Man, this is boring," I'm out of here. And I want people to come in and have a good time and have a good discussion and maybe learn something that they didn't know before. And so I try to share what I know about living out here. And Janice has done ironing for a bit, but oh, there's Troy.
Yeah, hello, Troy. They, well, now that's one thing. I guess I'm lazy. My lives, I ain't got the foggiest idea which way they're gonna go. You know, it just and a lot of the times it may be 5 minutes into one. I mean, it'll take off in one direction. I ain't no telling where it's gonna wind up.
Yeah, I've been playing around with shorts here. Ellsworth says I just uploaded a short video of tonight. Okay. But Grandma Kelly has been really growing her channel doing shorts. And so I tried, taking some of my longer videos, Ron, and you can actually trim out a short out of one of your longer videos and then post that. And I have experimented quite a bit over the last 2 or 3 weeks. And the shorts that do the best are the ones that are 15 seconds or less.
Wow.
So if you can do a 15-second or less short, what YouTube does is if somebody clicks on it and it starts playing, it replays over and over and over, and it just continues to replay as long as they're on it. And for each replay, you get one view. And so some of my shorts, I've got 1,000 or 1,500 views on them, but that only happens typically when you keep them at 15 seconds or less. And so I'm learning that. And I picked up probably 70 or 75 subscribers over the last month off of doing shorts. So it does work. Now, whether they'll stick with me or not, I don't know. But, they're there right now.
Well, I saw a couple Hamilton welcome in and saw something. Hello, Daniel. I've got a couple shorts rigged up that I need to post. And then I've got two deals that I started and I'm going to sort of get back on them. One of them was that tall tale. I don't know if you ever looked at that. Just
What was
think
that?
Tall Tale was the name of
Tall
it.
tales. Okay.
And it's just some crazy stuff that's happened to me, like in a kayak with a cottonmouth that crawl into it, some things like that, you know. But then I got the other one that I started that I need to get back on. I've got a couple videos made on it, and it was the one about me growing up, what I remember when I was a kid, you know. And then I got a regular video.
That sounds good.
So I've got really, it's going to be the live stream, regular videos, tall tales, and then just that I really started the deal on everything I could remember uh, back just from my kids because man, there's so many questions I wish I could ask my parents or grandparents about things, you know. So I'm gonna go through and do that. Hello, Joe. So I've got 4 different ways to go.
Yeah. Just have to get started.
Yeah. Well, I've sort of got started this week doing some stuff and I've got a couple videos just about ready to go. And yeah, there's all kind of tricks on it. And like I say, I haven't been all that serious about it. I've just mainly been having a good time with it.
Yeah, it was the same way. And when I started, I've had a channel since like 2011, but after I retired, I thought, well, I might as well do a couple videos and play around with it. And then one video I did with Mellow Nomadic Adventures doing a tour of his van, that's what put me over the top on subs and watch time. And that I credit that one video for getting subs and getting monetized. That one video is what did it for me. And then from that point, I always give Marshall the credit in letting me do a tour. But he and I connected real well. We interacted real well on that video, and that video's got like 57,000 views on it now. And now I'm monetized. I make probably 15 bucks a month on it, just that one video every single month. My channel makes about $15 a month. So if you can get a video out there, it has to be the right one at the right time that people are looking for. And that's why Mobang does so well. Is a lot of people are looking for those van videos, and he does a good job at those.
Motorcycle camping videos go real well for me. So that, and then I guess my most popular one is building an airboat.
Uh,
I'm into. I don't know if that's the way to do it, but I got so many damn things I'm involved in. I'm sort of scatterbrained even on my videos. So I'm gonna have to head up. What the hell they call it when you list them? Playlist. I'm gonna have to split that stuff up after I post them for a little bit. I haven't really been doing this any at all for 6-8 months. Is about what I've been doing it.
how long?
6 or 8 months.
Yeah.
I was on it before then, but I didn't have much of. Somebody
Yes.
I had counted them. Somebody said I had 1,000 videos, live and videos.
Oh, you do. Yeah, I have looked at your channel. You've got right around 1,000 or more.
And I think got like 50,000 views. And
Mm-hmm.
then this this coming week I should hit 12,000 watch hours.
Now, I think Tracy Jolly Matilda has a great idea. When you get ready to hit the road, and you're cooking your breakfast or you're cooking your dinner and you're out camping, that's the perfect time, to video. And it takes effort to do that. It slows you down, but to share, okay, folks, I'm out here, Ron Darrell Adventures, and I'm out here camping, and I'm in the Ironwood Forest National Monument, hanging out with Desert Adventures in Arizona, and I'm cooking my supper, and I'm going to show you how I do it. And doing stuff like that while you're on the road is a great way to grow your channel.
See, I did some of that. For camping out of that sidecar on a motorcycle. Some of the meals. I had one video that was what were easy meals to cook camping. Like frito pies and stuff like that. And showed all my camping gear and stuff. Set camp up. Those did pretty good. But I was just getting started then too.
Yeah.
They hit pretty good. And then me and that buddy of mine, you know the story about Darrell. I think about
Yeah,
Ron
I think
Darrell.
go ahead and say it. I've heard bits and pieces of it, but not the whole thing.
Yeah, when I try to find a name on here, Darrell is my fishing buddy, and we hunt and fish together. And I tried to get a deal with Ron and Daryl, and I tried it 15 different ways and couldn't get the channel. So finally, I just put Ron Daryl together, and I got the name.
Ah,
So everybody thought that was my middle name, I guess. And I just got tired of explaining about it. So I'm Ron Daryl now, I guess.
well, I didn't know that. I just assumed your name was Ron Darrell. So you better tell me someday what your last name is.
Oh, that's not hard. It's Smith.
Oh, okay. So, Mr. Smith, it's nice to meet you, Mr. Smith.
And that fits. All my family was in the steel business. So I guess that name goes back, you know.
Huh,
Like,
that's interesting. That reminds me of a story my grandmother on my dad's side told me. They immigrated from Scotland, not Scotland, Sweden. She was Swedish. Immigrated from Sweden through New York City into the US, and their last name was Anderson. And he was a jeweler, sold jewelry, and they were moving through uh, what the town of Moline. I'm drawing a blank on the state now, but they moved into the town of Moline, and so he changed their family name to Moline to make it more unique because Anderson was too generic, and he thought changing the name to Moline he would get more business. And I never heard whether it worked or not, but that just reminded me Smith, Anderson are both pretty generic names, and Moline was very unique, and so that's how their family name came about. Illinois, yeah, Diane, thanks.
you know, around the area I was raised, there's a German community and a Czech community and a Polish community, an Italian community, and I want to say several generations back, most of them people changed their name, shortened them.
Mhm.
It Irish Irish were bad about doing that.
Yeah, I heard that too, and my family is part of that too.
Diane was talking about one of my most popular videos that we made was how to clean and season what the hell are those grills called? Blackstone.
That's popped up a number of times on my feed, your Blackstone grill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so that was pretty popular. The other one was my camping gear set up off the sidecar. And of course, I had that little pup. He used to ride that motorcycle with me. That was pretty popular. But what my channel started out to be, and it ain't like that no more. But my whole deal was I listened to people talking about going full time and RVing and all that, and it just blew my mind because you can take a damn bicycle and go full time if you want to.
Mhm.
Do it, and this society that we're in here proves it. But you can do it in a car, you can do it on a motorcycle, you can do it in a pickup. You don't have to spend $200,000 to go full
Mhm.
time, and that was what my channel was really about when I first started.
Yeah.
And
And that helps people who are in bad situations, and Box Fan D is a good example of that. She started out in a car
yeah,
because she had to. She had no other choice. And, knowing that you can do that and that you can survive and, as she says, thrive by going to a minimalist lifestyle, living in a vehicle. It helps a lot of people understand, especially if they're in bad situations and they gotta get ready to jump ship, as I call it. Maybe in an abusive relationship or something, to thinking, I've got to figure a way to get out of this. And that's typically the best way to do it is just to go.
Like, he's sacked out, Lillian. He's he just ate about twice as much as you should have, and he's passed out now. So, but yeah, and it's really, I enjoy tent camping like this time of the year. So, and you can do that cheap, and just and you can do it comfortable. You can take a 10 by 10 tent and set a hell of a camp up in it.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, my wife and I took a drive through the monument here up on Pump Station Road is a popular spot for campers, boondockers. And I counted 6 tents up there yesterday. People that drove their cars or their vans or their pickups out there, and they set up camp out there and they stay for the winter.
Yeah, but y'all set up that tent right. It ain't like camping in the Army.
Yeah, that's right.
I've got a good cot, a good bed, and a place to use the bathroom in that tent, and
I've got a scar on the back of my arm. I was in Gwangju, South Korea, temporary duty from Kadena, living in a tent during operational readiness inspection. And we had one of those big barrel heaters in the tent. It was in the middle of winter in January, freezing cold outside. And I got up and went to put my shirt on and put the back of my arm right up against that riser pipe and just burnt the crap out of it. And I went the rest of the exercise with that big old blister on the back of my arm. Never said anything because I felt so stupid.
y'all, I can take, hello, Grandma Kelly. I can take and set my camp up in about 15 minutes. But the kind of tent I use is geared for it. The kind of cot I use is, simplicity. I believe in that. I'm not going to go in there and spend 2 hours setting camp up.
Yeah.
That's not fun. But I can just about set that tent camp up as fast as you can set your trailer up, Joe. The only thing that I've got faster than that is that cab over camper. Not a cab over camper. You just pull up there and park. You're home. There ain't much else to set out. I've seen people in these RV parks pull in there with a big fifth wheel, and 4 hours later they're still setting that thing up.
Mm-hmm.
And,
that's one that you go in and you stay a while.
Yeah. And take them that long, take it down. I mean, they just, now, I'm like I say, I guess I'm lazy. I believe in doing things. I want to be comfortable. But I don't want to work hard to do it.
Right. Well, I've got my RV. I've got a 26-foot Winnebago. It's a 2015 that I bought in 2018. I boondock. I don't stay in parks. I can pull into a spot, put the jacks down, put the slide out, and I'm basically set up. So I can probably get set up, in about 10 or 15 minutes, just like Jaws is saying. If I put the carpet out front, where the porch would be, it doesn't take me any time at all. And what I like about the RV is I want my wife to be comfortable. And
Yeah.
in order for her to go with me, and I want to be out there, I got to make sure that she's going to be comfortable. And if she's not comfortable, then I'm not comfortable. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why I own 2 RVs. I bought a Cedar, and then after my wife got down to where she was in a wheelchair, I bought this 26-foot trailer I'm in now. And but just for me personally, if I didn't have anything but that cab over, I'd be fine. And it's different when you're married. I mean,
It is, yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
different.
because I'm not going to take off. I'm not going to take off and abandon my wife while I go travel and, live on the road and leave her at home. I want her to be with me. And in order for that to happen, I got to make sure she's comfortable.
I'm going to be warm, cool, and have a good bed, and you know, and I don't cook. I don't eat MREs when I camp. You know, I, I want real food. And,
What my wife does when we're taking off, we'll plan about a week to 10 days, and she'll pre-cook everything,
yeah,
and then we'll throw it in the freezer, and then you just throw it in a pan and warm it up, or throw it in a microwave, whatever it takes. There's Roy popping in.
yeah. That fact, everybody's got their own way of doing things, and I think part of my deal on my tent setup. In fact, I've got a video. One of my first videos is on my setup. Go in there and look at it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll set one up where you're comfortable, and there's no way in hell you gonna give me a damn tent I can't stand up in, And I've camped out of a back end of a pickup, put a bed in the back of the pickup, and then set a tent up for the daytime, and then
Yeah,
you're in a hard shell at night. There's all kind of ways.
yeah, yeah. I've done it all. I had a 1971 Dodge van when I lived up in Utah, and camped out of that. That's back when we had shag carpet, in the vans on the roof and everything. You remember those days?
Oh
And,
yeah,
and then
good time,
I had a
good
eight,
time van.
yeah, I had an '87 Ford E250 van that we camped all over the country with. So, I did van life before it was cool, and then then graduated to a tent after that, and then to a small toy hauler, little 21-foot toy hauler, and then the RV that we have now. But yeah, we've done it all.
Yeah, and I've sort of done the same thing. I keep going back to two things. If I could start over tomorrow and not own any RV and just going to get set up on one, I'd probably own a pickup with a topper on
Hmm.
it, and I'd go buy me a 8.5 by 20 or somewhere in that neighborhood, B-nose cargo trailer, and build
Yeah,
my rig up with that right there. And
yeah,
the second one would be the cab over camper because you can pull stuff.
yeah, yeah. I've got a topper on my pickup, and I haven't done any camping in it, but it's ready. If I wanted to, I certainly could.
Well, there's places that you want something that's hard side.
Hmm.
When you got critters around or
Yeah, off the ground. Yeah, you want to be off the ground.
off the ground and bad weather, really bad weather. Now I'm talking about hail and that kind of.
Hmm. Yeah,
But the
yeah. It's no
cargo,
fun. It's no fun being in a tent, especially if you don't know if it leaks until it rains.
yeah,
Been there, done that.
I had you talking about that van? I had a Dodge Maxi van. I don't even remember what model it was, but it had you seen any pop up uh cab over camper?
Hmm.
Well, it had a pop top like that on it, where you could stand up and walk around in it.
Those are nice. Yeah, yeah.
But
That's
the
funny.
other thing,
Janice said something funny. Weren't those shag pile carpeted vans called sin bins?
yeah,
I
I
had a
think the official name for them was Good Time Band. So I
Yeah.
guess that boils down to the same thing.
I belonged to a van club up there in Ogden, Utah when I lived there, and a lot of the vans in the van club had bumper stickers on them that said, "If the vans are rocking, don't come knocking."
Yeah. So, but like I say, if I could start over, the way I would start would be buy that trailer, go buy me a good cot, and just like backpacking gear to start with, and then build that thing out just as I'd put enough in it where I live in it and build it out just like I wanted it.
Mm-hmm.
And I built one out about halfway before I sold it. It was a V-nose, 14 foot, 7 by 14. And I built all cedar cabinets in it, like I built my kayaks out of strip cedar. Well, I built all the cabinets out of that strip cedar and countertop. It was fancy.
Now somebody else is enjoying it, huh?
And that old boy was just, he offered me too much money for it.
Mm.
It was sort of funny. He wanted to just look at it. And I was at a campground. And he just wanted to look at it and saw it. Come on. And I had the bed in it where it was a fold down bed and fold down tables and stuff in it. But everything was cedar. It was nice. And he walked in there and looked at it. Well, a little bit he come back and said, I want to show my wife this thing. And so he walked in there and looked around, and we're talking about an easy way to put windows in one. And she turned around and looked at him. She said, you buy this thing? I said, this trailer not for sale. She turned around and walked out. And the guy looked at me and he said, you don't understand. I got to buy this damn trailer. Just name your damn price.
Oh, geez.
I shot him a price about twice what that trailer was worth.
Uh,
And he wrote a check right there. He said,
yeah.
just let me know when I can pick it up. So that's the way I sold the other one I had.
Wow. Yeah.
And
See Ann J's comment. I remember those days too. Or a bumper sticker that said, "Ass, gas, or grass. No one rides for free." Yeah.
them were some pretty good days.
Yeah. They were fun. They were fun.
I had somebody, a kid, I say a kid, a young person, talking about how bad things were and all that. And I got to thinking about it. I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and that had to be the best time to grow up. You had pretty well had the same kind of comfort things, then as you got now. Um, Birth control pills had just come out, so that turned a lot of that loose. And you didn't have to worry about catching anything back in those days.
Yeah.
And the and when you grew up, well, there was enough opportunities out there that if you wanted to be a millionaire and wanted to work hard enough, you could be. And I sort of feel sorry for these kids now; they haven't got none of
Yeah. My wife and I were talking, and my daughter went out to dinner at the Circle S Saloon down the road a little ways. We were all three talking. My daughter works at the local elementary school, and she sees kids that are so into these things, their electronic devices, that they can't socialize anymore
it. No,
because they're not used to interacting with people their own age and grown-ups, and they're really having a tough time getting them through school and getting them educated because they're difficult to work with. Um, and that's happening to our younger generation that's in elementary and junior high school right now.
oh Lord, I was in Red Lobster here a few months ago, and was sitting there eating, and there was a family of about 8 or 9 people walked in, and it was people that might have been grandparents and parents and kids. They all walked in. The waitress took their order for their drink. I don't think there was another word said till they got up and left. Every damn kid and
Yeah,
everybody
everybody.
at the
Yeah.
table was sitting there going like this. And there
Uh,
were two of them kids sitting next to each other, texting each other instead of talking.
mhm.
I sat
Yeah.
there and watched that, and I thought, my Lord. They, oh, it's just a different world. These phones are all right, but they're a curve too. What are these kids gonna do when I'm gonna say 90% of your kids don't do anything but sit around and fool with video games and that kind of stuff.
And when it comes time for them to go out for a job interview, how are they going to handle that?
Uh, Carl, I helped a friend of mine just get set up on a tent camping setup, and they bought one of these portable air conditioners, and they just run the hose out the front door and zip it up in that thing, and he stay just as cool in that tent as you would in a house. You know, there's ways to do it.
Mm-hmm. Roy, and Becky have been to Circle S Saloon. He can tell you a little bit about it, but I took them over there while they were out here camping out here in the monument. It's a family owned saloon. But one thing I've noticed, and maybe you have too, Ron, when we go out to eat now, there's not as many people out there. We used to go to the Circle S, and sometimes on a Friday or Saturday night, there would be a line out the door, people waiting for a table to get in there. And like tonight, we went in there and there were 6 tables. Probably a third of the tables were taken and the rest of them were empty. People aren't eating out as much anymore. And I think it must have something to do with the economy and the cost of things. It costs us for 3 of us to eat. Geez, it was with tip. Well, without tip, it was $40 for 3 of us to eat a hamburger and French fries and a drink.
Yeah, it's not. I'm single, but I walked in IHOP day before yesterday, ate breakfast in there, got a waffle and bacon, got one extra deal of bacon, and hell, I think the bill was like $15. That was just one person. You know, I don't see how in the hell people raise 4 or 5 kids now.
Well, taking them to eat out is a special occasion now.
You know,
Yeah,
and
that's
I tell
good,
you,
Carl. That's good. Carl keeps his kids
yeah,
busy with fishing and stuff like that. And that's what I do with my grandkids when they come over here. The first, maybe they spend a weekend over here. The first hour or so, they'll be playing on their tablets, and then Oki and I are like, "Come on, let's go out and do some metal detecting, or let's go, find some rocks, or we'll drive them out to the monument out here and do some hiking or something." We get them out in nature, and you can see them kind of open up. When you get them out there and they're walking, and I'm showing them, check out this cactus here, check out this plant over here, look at that, look at this, and you get them away from the electronics and out into nature, you can just see the difference in them.
oh yeah, it makes a difference. It's just a different world. I'm sort of glad I grew up when I did. Somebody said the other day, said, "Would you like to be able to go back to 18 years old?" Hell no, I bet I'd screw it up worse the second time than I did the first
Let's
time.
see, from 16 to 18 years old, I was driving a 1962 Chevy Corvair.
Hell,
Yeah, 6-cylinder Corvair.
you remember the Carver spiders, Steve?
Yeah, my dad had one.
I took one of those things, got hold of a Harley, and we built a 3-wheeler out of that 185 horsepower spider
Mm-hmm.
and spent a ton on chrome. It was a beautiful machine, but it was so damn, you couldn't crack the throttle open without bringing the front wheel.
Yeah, my
You
dad
know,
had one, and you talk about everything is for sale. My dad was one of those guys. He was a mechanic, and he would buy something, fix it up, and sell it, flip it. And one of my friends wanted his Corvair. I think his was 140 horsepower. Maybe it wasn't a Spider, but it was the same model, 140 horse, souped up compared to mine. At I think a 4-speed transmission, manual transmission. And my buddy wanted to buy it off of him, and so he pestered my dad. He saved his money, saved his money. We were working at Lucky Wishbone flipping hamburgers. And one day he told my dad, he said, I want that car. I want to buy that car off of you. And how much will you sell it to me for? And dad threw him a number, and I don't remember what it was, but it was like twice, what he expected to get out of it. And Jim said, okay, I'll take it. He bought that car off my dad. And dad was shocked because, well, everything's for sale for a price, but I really didn't want to sell it. And I
Yeah,
didn't think he was going to buy it.
I've had that happen to me a couple times. I'll tell you a funny one that I did. My dad just fell out. We were partners in that steel shop. The cattle market was down and things were getting slow. And I think our shop rate was like $20 an hour back then. And everything was slowing down. I went to, of course, you still had newspapers then. And I went to the newspaper and put an ad in the newspaper. Appreciated our customers staying with us and keeping us busy and blah, 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 blah. And that for the next 2 weeks, we were going to drop our shop rate to $30 an hour, just appreciation for the business. Well, that was 50% above what we would normally charge. They covered us up. My dad told me, he said, "You're the craziest idiot in the world." But it did. I mean, people thought they were getting a deal, so here they come. And it was hilarious. Funny what people do.
Troy's having trouble with his voice to text.
Who is?
Troy, Nomadic Rat Pack.
He's always got trouble with one. It won't work for me. I have not found a voice program yet that I can get to work.
Well, that's because you got that Texas accent, dude.
I guess so. It'll say a word, and I'll say the word, and it'll say a word, say a word, say a word. Shit.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to get off of here. I'm ready to hit the hay.
Yeah, well, you got to stay 2 more minutes, and then we'll be on here 2 hours if you believe
okay.
that.
1:58 and 28 seconds. All right, 2 more minutes. I'll give you 2 more minutes.
So, I was going to try that. Hello, Sunfish. I was going to try that voice to chat. It just didn't work for me. I tell people I don't have an accent. I just talk slow. So,
I kind of expected you to say something like, I don't have an accent. You guys do.
well, hell, when I got up north, they drove me crazy up there. They talked so damn fast. I couldn't even listen that fast.
The accent I had the most trouble with is Virginia. The southern part of Virginia, the old Virginia, people that have lived there for generations. And I don't know what it is, but they have that draw, that southern draw. And I had the heck of a time, understanding some of them.
You know where I found the heaviest draws at? Alabama and Georgia.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Man alive.
Yeah. But I could understand. I could understand those people, but I had trouble understanding some of them in Virginia.
There was one little old gal from Georgia I knew before she could tell her boyfriend she wasn't that kind of girl. She was.
Yeah, Tracy says it's weird. Yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but it's the accent and it's the words they use. So how different areas of the country you have different ways of saying things. And so this old boy was talking to me. He was actually dumping or picking up a dumpster in a spot. I was throwing stuff away, and I was just kind of chit chatting with him, and I had the heck of a time understanding him. But and I walked away from that conversation with no idea what he was saying to me, but I tried my best to understand him.
I tell you, the one that's got it's hard to understand, and that's the damn coon asses from Louisiana.
Yeah.
And I love to hear them talk.
My sister lives down there.
It's hilarious.
Roy says, I have a cousin in Kentucky. I have a heck of a time understanding.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, NJ. I was sitting and I went in Cracker Barrel and with some friends of mine. It's been a couple months ago, maybe more than that. And we're sitting there and ate lunch and we're sitting there drinking a cup of coffee before we got ready to leave. And there were two ladies sitting at a table behind me. One of them ladies walked up to the table and said, I tell you what, I'd take you home with me and just get you to read a damn book. So we've been sitting there listening to you talk. Oh, what the hell? Who is this woman? Crack me up.
Yeah, your nickname is The Voice, Ron. The Voice.
Or trouble. It's got funny. I can go in just damn near any chat room that I want to go into, and that's the first thing they'll say. Oh, here comes trouble.
Yeah. Okay, I gave you your 2 minutes and I doubled it to 4. So
All right,
there you go, buddy.
all right, man. Enjoyed it, Steve. Appreciate you coming
Okay.
up.
Enjoy the conversation. Good night, everybody. Have a good evening. And today's Saturday, right? Have a good Sunday.
You too.
All right.
I enjoyed going to different parts of the country, listening to people talk. It's funny if you go to Houston or Dallas in Texas. Now they've got a whole different sound to them, and I think it's a mixing pot for people all over the United States coming in there. Mm-mm-mm. Well, are y'all about ready to shut it down, or y'all want to go another 10 or 15, or what? It don't make no difference to me. If y'all want to stay on, no, William. Hell no. I did that other night. Got on here the other night, stayed on here 4 hours. Yeah, we had some lives back a few months ago that were going 3 and 4 hours. 2 hours was about the deal, 2.5 hours. Well, if y'all all gonna leave, or you might want to shut this thing down. I appreciate everybody coming in, and I enjoyed it. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a good night.